Hi students. So today we are going to deal with the golden era of Indian cinema. Before that, let's memorize the things that we discussed in the last class. First is the starting of the voyage Indian cinema by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who had made movies and supported Dada Saib Phalke in his attempts in creating a Swadeshi cinema. And Phalke released his epochal feature film Raja Harichandra. He made other films Sri Krishna Janma, Kaliya Mardan, Babu Rao painter and his Maharashtra film company made Kalyan Kajina, Shahala Shah and others. And this is the post of Raja Harichandra. And the first talkie was released in 1931 and it was produced by Ardeshir Irani and his first talkie named Alam Ara. The first talkie film in Bengali was Jamai Shasti, in Telugu Bhakta Prahlad, and in Tamil we have Kalidas. In the 1930s, three big banners were started: Prabhat, Bombay Talkies and New Theatres, who gave the lead in making serious but gripping and entertaining films. A number of films making strong plea against social injustice like V. Shantaram's Duniya Na Mane, Franz Osten's Achut Kanya. Apart from looks, actors needed a commanding voice but also singing skills, as music became a defining element in Indian cinema. The year also marked the beginning of the talkie era in South Indian films, and the first talkie films in Bengali, Jamai Shasti, and Telugu, Bhakta Prahlad, and Tamil, Kalidas, were also released in the same era. For the first time, Ardeshir Irani attempted a color picture in 1937 with Kisan Kanya. The first talkie film in Gujarati is Gujarati Narasingh Mehta, and Kannada Dhruv Kumar, Oriya Sida Bibaha, Punjabi Sheila. And in the middle of the Second World War in 1945 came Kismet in 1943, starring Ashok Kumar, which became one of the biggest hits in the history of Indian cinema. At this time, filmmakers like V. Shantaram, Raj Kapoor and Mehboob Khan made their films. And so from here onwards, we are discussing about golden era, that is 1950s. The golden period of the 50s spurred in positivism in the industry with a wide range of themes dealing with social issues relevant at that time. അന്നത്തെ കാലത്ത് അത്രയും റെലവൻസ് ഉള്ള കുറേ സോഷ്യൽ ഇൻജസ്റ്റിസസ് ഒക്കെ ആയിരുന്നു ഈ സമയത്ത് സിനിമകളിൽ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. സിനിമ വാസ് എ കൊഗൻറ്റ് മീഡിയം ഓഫ് എഡ്യൂക്കേറ്റിംഗ് ദ മാസസ്. With the eruption of World War II in 1939, actors started their own companies. And here we are discussing about the golden era of music. And actors and directors like Bimal Roy, Guru Dutt, Raj Kapoor entered the industry in the 1930s and 40s when Indians were facing ordeals in battles of independence, famine, fascism, varied social custom, and all these trials and tribulations conduced their experiences in film making. So അന്ന് അത്രയും ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നൊരു കാലത്താണ് ഈ പറഞ്ഞ ബിമൽ റോയും ഗുരുദത്തും രാജ്കുമാറും എല്ലാം ഈ ഫിലിം ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിലേക്ക് കടന്നു വരുന്നത്. ഇറ്റ് വാസ് എ റേസ് ഓഫ് ദീസ് ഡയറക്ടേഴ്സ് ദാറ്റ് പേവ് ദ വേ ഫോർ എ ട്രാൻസ്ഫോർമേഷൻ ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യൻ സിനിമ. Black and white films were going into oblivion and the 50s ushered in the new age of color films. ബ്ലാക്ക് ആൻഡ് വൈറ്റ് ഫിലിംസ് എല്ലാം മാറി പുതിയ കളർ സിനിമകൾ വന്നതും ഈ കാലഘട്ടത്തിലാണ്. ദ പ്ലോട്ട്സ് നൗ റേഞ്ച് ഫ്രം റൊമാൻസ് ആൻഡ് ഡ്രമാറ്റിക് തീംസ് ടു ആക്ഷൻ ഫിലിംസ്. ദ എമർജൻസ് ഓഫ് ന്യൂ ബ്രീഡ് ഓഫ് themes like the theme of Love's Brothers, melodramas, meek position of the Indian bride, and the crude, dacoit aspect in films, intercaste problems, especially the untouchables of lower caste, rural-urban contrast, etc. were portrayed on the screen. The era also ratified the showman of Indian cinema, Raj Kapoor, as beholder of Indian society for his eye for detail. His Avara depicts man caught between nature and nurture, and this film brought him immense glory by setting up the agenda of a popular cinema. So Raj Kapoor's Avara എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഫിലിം വളരെ വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആണ്. And this critically acclaimed film brought him an international recognition with its nomination Cannes Film Fest in 1943, and it's one of the most notable award, a film festival, that is Cannes Film Festival in 1943. He was recognized as a good artist. The actor filmmaker actively used the Chaplin character of Avara in other films like Sri 420. He Indianized the Chaplin idiom and upheld the camera on the common man. The reform films like Jagre Raho won him accolades in communist countries by illustrating them by of protesting against a system. അന്ന് നിലവിലുണ്ടായിരുന്ന ഒരു സിസ്റ്റത്തിനെയാണ് ഇവർ ഫൈറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് ആ സിസ്റ്റത്തിനെതിരെ. ആൻഡ് ഡയറക്ടേഴ്സ് ലൈക്ക് മെഹബൂബ് ഖാൻ, Kedar Sharma and Bimal Roy proudly exposed such realities of life. The wanton evils of rural society like conversion of peasants to dacoits was exposed in Mehboob Khan's Aurat. In 1957, he made it as Mother India with color, and through its magnificence, it got a nomination in Oscar. സോ ഈ മദർ ഇന്ത്യ ഔരത്ത് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സിനിമയാണ് മെഹബൂബ് ഖാൻ തന്നെ വീണ്ടും മദർ ഇന്ത്യ എന്ന പേരിൽ 1957 റിലീസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ആ ഒരു റൂറൽ സൊസൈറ്റിയിലുള്ള പെസൻസ് എല്ലാം എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഡെക്കോയ്സ് കൊള്ളക്കാരും അവരും ഒക്കെ ആയിട്ട് മാറുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ഹിസ് ഏർലിയർ ഫിലിം റോത്തി ഡിസ്പ്ലൈഡ് ദ മെറ്റമോർഫിസ് ഓഫ് എ ട്രാബ് ഇൻ എ ഹാർട്ട്ലെസ് ക്യാപിറ്റലിസ്റ്റ്. And this decade also saw the emanation of a new parallel movement escorted by Bengali cinema. Ritwik Ghatak's Nagrik and Bimal Roy's Do Biga Zameen laid the bedrock of Indian neo-realism and the Indian new wave. Satyajit Ray is regarded as one of the great artists of the 20th century with Gurudutt and Ghatak, and his trilogy Pader Panjali, Abarajidu and Apur Sansar brought him international recognition, and he was awarded Oscar for Lifetime Achievement before his death in 1995. And his cinematographer Subrata Mitra used bounce lighting in his trilogy to recreate the effect of daylight on the sets, and he pioneered novel techniques like photo negative, flashback and X-ray digressions. A number of films during this period presented social themes dealing with the working class of civic life in India, and like Avara presented the city blended with nightmare and dream. Pyasa critiqued the ostensible city life, and Madhumati popularized the theme of reincarnation of Western popular culture. Artha Sandhya, a realist film, centered on the turbulence and desensitization of police force. And Ritwik Ghatak was one of the talented Bengali filmmakers and scriptwriters, and his first commercial release was Ajantrik, a comedy drama film with science fiction themes. And his last film was the autobiographical Jukti Takko R. Gappo, in which he portrayed Neelakanta, the lead character. The first Indo-Soviet co-production Pardeshi by K. Abbas was also made during the early 1950s. And with the promotion of realist cinema in the 60s, the long-lasting trend of angry young man clamoring against the establishment was personated by the superstar Amitabh Bachchan. The advent of the video and cable television in the 1980s resulted in the closing of theatre, but the industry still managed. However, the golden era paved the way for many potentialities and novelties which enriched Indian cinema. So from here onward started 1960s, a new era. 60s began with a bang with the release of K. Asif's Mughal-e-Azam, which set a record at the box office. It was followed by notable productions which include romantic musicals and melodramas of a better quality. Raj Kapoor's Jis Desh Mein Ganga Beti Hain and Sangam, Dilip Kumar's Ganga Jamuna, Dev Anand's Guide, Bimal Roy's Nandini, Sunil Dutt's Mujhe Jeene Do, and experimental Yadin. And moving to the Indian art cinema and Indian new wave. The emanation of a new Parallel cinema movement, mainly led by the Bengali cinema, was a perfect example of Indian neo-realism. And though films like Neecha Nagar, Nagrik, Do Biga Zameen, as we discussed earlier, laid a footing for the emanation of a new parallel cinema movement. And it was Satyajit Ray's Pader Panjali that first firmly established the parallel Indian new cinema. Ray's film Kanchenjunga had a narrative structure similarly to hyperlink cinema, which was an inspiration for filmmakers across the world. They were followed by acclaimed Indian independent filmmakers such as Mrinal Sen, Adur Gopalakrishnan, Mani Kaul, and Buddhib Das Gupta. Later on, such offbeat cinematic expression were added by the official Film Finance Corporation. But in 1976, this bent for art film came under strong criticism, and hence there began the rise of commercial cinema, which valorized the legendary Amitabh Bachchan. In the 1980s, the most acclaimed Indian filmmakers of this period belonged to Malayalam film industry. Adur Gopalakrishnan, G. Aravindan, T.V. Chandran, Shaji and Karun, then this Adur Gopalakrishnan, the spiritual heir to Satyajit Ray, directed Elipatayam, which won the Sutherland Trophy at London Film Festival, and Madilugal, which won the Venice Film Festival. And the Indian parallel cinema was influenced by Indian theatre, Indian literature, European cinema, and French poetic realism. And towards the end of the 1970s, it reached its pinnacle with the entry of filmmakers like Syed Girsa, Rabindra Dharmera, Saib Paranpe, Muzaffar Ali Chowdhury, and in the 80s, this movement flourished with more vigor, brought in directors like Shyam Benegal, Utpalendu Chakraborty, Gautam Ghosh, Shankar Nag, Shaji N. Karun. Meera Nair won a Golden Camera Award at Cannes Film Festival for her first film Salaam Bombay in 1989. Themes of landlord exploitation, bonded labor, untouchability, urban power, corruption and criminal extortion, oppression of women, and political manipulation in a social conscience were shown in the works of Shyam Benegal, Mrinal Sen, Kundan Shah, Girish Kasarvalli through images of regional landscape and social structures. And in South, the genre flourished in Kerala and Karnataka. Ramu Karyad's Chemmeen brought national recognition to the South Indian cinema. And caste system was clearly projected in Karan Karnad's Kannada films Vamsha Vriksha and Samskara, and Tamil films like Vedat Pudichu by P. Bharat Raja and Ore Oru Gramathil by K. Jodi Pandian. Olavum Theeravum created a second wave in Malayalam cinema, and Adur Gopalakrishnan Swayamvaram was a trendsetter in this movement. And among the regional languages, Malayalam cinema derived much of its strength from literature during the 60s. And the Malayalam cinema first hit the headlines when Ramu Karyad's Chemmeen won the President's Gold Medal. Towards the end of the decade, Mrinal Sen's Bhuvan Shom signaled the new wave. In the 1970s, there was a totally change the way films were made, especially in Hindi film industry. Changing social norms and changing economies influenced and the companies that made them. The popular Hindi hits of the decade include Kamal Amrohi's Pakisa, Raj Kapoor's Bobby, Deva's Hathi Mere Saathi, Ramesh Sippy's Sholay, Sanjay Yash Chopra's Amar Akbar Andoni, Dharamveer, Mukhadar Kha Sikandar, and many more. And this period, Indian film industry was introduced by the angry young man, the great Amitabh Bachchan, who became a living legend, while Dev Anand, Rajesh Khanna, Jitendra and Dharmendra continued to bask in the glory of back-to-back hits. The actresses were not far behind right from the time of Savitri, Vaijayanti Mala, Nargis, Sharmila Tagore to Sridevi, Rekha, Smita Patil became the main attraction of the Indian film industry. And down in the south, the new wave cinema originated in Karnataka and Kerala. Pattabhi Ramareddy's Samskara and Adur Gopalakrishnan Swayamvaram were the trendsetters in Kannada and Malayalam, respectively. And this continued with the socially conscious film like Chomana Dodi, Gada Sratha, Arangetram, Chuvanna Vittugal, and many more. The Hindi New Wave reached its bloom period towards the end of the 70s with the coming of filmmakers Syed Mirza, Rabindra Dharmaraj Chakar, and Sai Pranjip's Sparsh. And 90s, the new cinema movement continued with full spirit in the next decade, that is 1980s. Some important films with new style of treatment include Damul, 36 Chaurangi Lane, Umro Jan, Andi Gelli, Achka, Robin Hood, etc. Some South Indian films also made some big impacts on Indian cinema in 1980s, that were the Elipatayam, Pokuvel, Chidambaram, Oridathu, and Piravi. In the late 80s and early 90s, a group of musical love stories like Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak, Mr. India, Jo Jeeta Wohi Sikandar, Chandni, Maine Pyar Kiya, Bazigar, Hum Aapke Hain, Hai Kaun, etc. and these films. And 1990 stars Shah Rukh Khan, Rajinikanth, Salman Khan, Madhuri Dixit, Amir Khan, Juhi Chawla, Chiranjeevi, etc. where they enriched Indian cinema with romantic, thriller, action and comedy films. And 1990 films of various languages across India had increased the glory of Indian cinema. Some Bengali films like Charajar, Bagh Bahadur, Uttaron, Unishe April, etc. And South Malayalam cinema presented some notable films like Vastuhara, Videyan, etc. And this is the best love story forever, Dilwale Duhani Le Jayenge. Now the Indian cinema has reached a new millennium and a revolution of sorts happened in terms of defining glamour, entertainment, commercial values and marketing. ഇപ്പോൾ ശരിക്കും അതിനു വേണ്ടി ഒരു കമ്മോഡിറ്റി എന്ന നിലയിലേക്ക് സിനിമ മാറിക്കഴിഞ്ഞു. Films like Lagan, Salam Bombay and Monsoon Wedding making an international setup and take definitely indicates that India is poised for bigger as far as cinema goes. And new concepts were introduced during this period. New brilliant film actors like Anurag Kashyap, Rajkumar Hirani, Dibakar Banerjee, Vishal Bharadwaj, Anurag Basu, Sujay Ghosh, Imtiaz Ali have changed the scenario of Indian cinema globally. And these were the few Bengali films